What would we do without you, Hannibal? You bring melody to the morning.
You could be in the concert field, Hannibal, if you work at it.
Oh, you're so right, Jeff. Golden fingertips. I simply surrender to it. I'm a rag.
Do come in, Mrs. Savage.
I trust you had a pleasant and sleepless night.
Lovely, thank you. Not awake.
You've just missed Hannibal's recital.
I heard it. As a matter of fact, it's what brought me out of my room.
You wouldn't believe it, Mrs. Savage, but Hannibal never touched a violin until last year.
Now, what makes you think I wouldn't believe it, my dear? Was it something you composed yourself, Hannibal?
Bach, with variations of my own.
Mathematics loss was certainly our game.
Now, I quite know that fairy.
Barry knows that I used to be a statistician.
Thank you. Now I'm thrilled.
Go ahead, give him a fraction to multiply.
I'm afraid I wouldn't know whether he were right or not.
My last position was with the government, charting trends. I had to keep my finger on the pulse of the public and my ear to the ground.
Rather vulnerable position, was it not?
Very. I was fired and replaced by an electronic calculator.
I should think you'd hate electricity too.
No, for the next 2 years I wanted to use my brains to make money, so I tried thinking of something that could be made for a dime, sold for $1, and was happy for me. I'm afraid my education was wasted.
I'm going to send John Thomas to Princeton. Their boys aren't very bright, but they're such gentlemen.
Oh, that reminds me. May we ask you a personal question, Mrs. Savage?
They're the only kind worth asking, my dear.
A little bird told us that you used to be an actress. Bird gave me curiosity. Is it true?
Oh, that. Well, if being on stage makes you an actress, then I guess it's true.
Miss Willie, that's the bird Florence mentioned, said that you were on the New York stage.
I wonder if we've ever seen you.
Not unless you were quick. Actually, I was only in 2 plays. The first was Macbeth.
Oh, I adore Macbeth. All that blood. I sent a pint of my blood to the Red Cross once, but they sent it back.
I should think you would have had a knowledge partner such as Lady Macbeth.
I can't tell you how much I agree with you. But they cast me as the witch.
Oh, but you're a perfect witch.
Thank you, dear.
Please speak some witch talk for us.
I'm afraid I didn't have any minds. If I had, it probably would have cost me twice as much.
Why did it cost you anything?
Well, I backed the show. If I hadn't, I couldn't have played even the mute witch. But we made history. We were the first play to close before the reviews were out.
Was it expensive?
Oh, extremely, but worth it.
What a pity. Weren't you discouraged?
Bitterly. But man is by nature optimistic. If he weren't, he'd eat us young. So I decided to write a play and star myself.
You wrote a play?
I certainly did, with an ignorance born of brokenness and a courage out of wedlock.
What part did you play then?
Well, naturally, the lead. Not guilty, starring F.L.P. Savage.
What does the P stand for?
Oh, I haven't the faintest idea. My numerologist said I needed it in my name for good luck.
What was the play about?
A mother who'd murdered a man and was defended by a young woman lawyer who turns out to be her own daughter. I had bright red hair and died in my daughter's arms every night, and 2 matinees a week, just as the curtain came down and the jury whispered, "Not guilty." I've never had a better time in my life.
I gather the notices were good that time.
Well, they were sincere, but it didn't make any difference.
What did they say?
The Times said my plays at the theater back 50 years. It couldn't possibly, because I sold the plot from Madame X, and that's only 40 years old.
Wouldn't you think that they'd know?
But the Wall Street Journal was wonderful.
What did Wall Street say?
They said I had a tenacious mediocrity, unhampered by taste.
But that wasn't good.
No, it was perfect. And our ads, we simply said tenacious and unhampered. wondering yet if my daughter hadn't come home and stopped me. Oh, I know I was bad, and audiences only came to laugh at me. But we both had a good time. What more do you ask? I do miss it. Oh well. My turn is coming.
Well, I don't think that was very nice of your daughter. Oh, no! No, please don't do it! Please don't!
Fairy, what is wrong?
Look! Mrs. Savage is trying to read the newspaper.
Oh,
What's the matter?
I wouldn't do that if I were you. You mustn't read it.
It will only make you unhappy.
Now, just a moment. I know what this paper is going to tell me, so there is nothing that you can hide from me. I've just been waiting for it to happen.
Waiting for what to happen?
Why, what it says in the paper.
Well, we don't know what it says in the paper.
Then why are you trying to keep me from reading it?
We have an agreement. We never read the newspapers until they're a month old.
we find we're much happier when we wait.
What are you waiting for?
Why, naturally, we're waiting for... What do we wait for, Hannibal?
Perspective. Peace of mind.
Security.
We find it's much better to read about unpleasant things a month after they happen. It's reassuring to know that it's over and nothing can be done.
My dear people, there is something important in this newspaper that I want to know about. And I want to know now, not next month.
We're only trying to help you.
Yes.
Disaster is easier to digest after it's aged a little.
You're very kind. But I made my bed, and I want to know who's in it.
We can't prevent Mrs. Savage from reading the newspaper if she insists. We don't know her well enough to be rude.
Florence is right.
Fine. But if you read about anything unpleasant, don't tell us.
No.
If there's trouble in the world, it won't help us to know about it.
Oh, this is yesterday's paper. I want today's paper.
Oh, it isn't here yet.
When does it come?
I don't know.
Is there a radio here?
Yes. Right over there.
Oh, perhaps I can catch the news. Why did you tell me the radio was here?
You didn't ask us.
This isn't lining up. Is there something wrong with the set?
I don't think so. Of course, it hasn't any tubes.
It hasn't any what?
Tubes. Mrs. Patty steals them. She hates electricity, you know.
No one knows where she hides them.
Why did you tell me the set didn't have any tubes?
You didn't ask us.
Oh dear. Oh dear, 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 dear. How high is that wall?
Much too high.
Easily 10 chairs high.
And I suppose nobody ever leaves that great gate open.
Don't look beyond the garden, Mrs. Savage. There may be a better place somewhere, but if you give this up to search for it, you may not find it, and lose what you have.
You'll like it here after a while.
Well, except in January, the rooms get cold.
We like you already.
Oh, it isn't that I don't find you enchanting, but you...
But we would.
Oh, please don't say anything mean. Tyrant!
We have to go, Mrs. Savage.
Go where?
It's garden hour.
We have a little plot and we plant things. You can plant anything you wish. Vegetables or flowers.
Last year I planted birdseed to see what would come up.
What did come up, Harry?
Well, nothing. But it was a rich horticultural experience.
Love green in the center. At Christmas time it has lights on it saying, Merry Christmas. Keep out.
Come with us, Mrs. Savage. I'll show you my delphiniums.
No. Please go without me. I've some serious thinking to do. I'll stay here.
But the buzzer buzz. One has to obey order. May I ask why you're doing that?
I believe in wearing the carpet out evenly.
Oh, how prudent. I'm going to help you.
But don't you have to garden?
This is more constructive.
I'll help too. We must all do our share.
But I didn't mean to start a procession.
Come, boys, many feet make light work.
It's a refreshing change. Most women just lead us in circles.
Go ahead, Mrs. Savage. We're behind you.
Oh, but I feel like Pied Piper.
Jeff, you take on Buzz. Handel can walk on roses. And the rest of us will walk on thorns. Do you know what we're doing, Miss Willie?
Wearing out the carpet evenly.
Oh, someone told you.
Didn't I hear the buzzer in garden hour?
I didn't hear it. I think it's broken.
Barry, aren't you ashamed?
Oh, I wish I had died in my cradle.
I'm afraid this is my fault, Miss Willie.
I didn't feel like gardening anyhow.
But you've worked so hard in the garden, Florence. Do you want them to die?
I don't want anything to die.
Oh, that's so true. Florence wouldn't hurt a fly. She catches them and throws them out windows. Flies adore her.
I think it's time we all go out and work. All go out into the garden now. Barry, sure you're going to see Mrs. Savage. Run along. Aren't you going with them, Mrs. Savage?
Actually, I wanted to speak with you. Alone.
All right. What can I do for you?
A great deal. And it may be that I can do a great deal for you.
Are you about to offer me a bribe, Mrs. Savage?
How did you guess?
Everyone does. At first.
My offer is a bit different. I have the money. I'll give you $20,000 to leave that door open tonight. 30,000.
Don't you like it, Mrs. Savage?
That's the most irritating response to a sound business offer, my dear. 40,000. You can be free of this place too.
But I don't want to be free of it.
You can go around the world, see Cairo, Mandalay, the South Pacific.
Well, I've seen Cairo. I've been to Mandalay and the South Pacific.
You have.
I had 4 years as an army nurse.
But still, you must feel for you is $40,000.
Now, where would you get $40,000, Mrs. Savage? That's a fortune.
Never mind. I can give it. And in the current idiom, 40,000 is peanuts.
Oh, I believe you. But I'm afraid I'll have to refuse.
Then you leave me with no choice but to burn the place down.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
Oh yes, I would.
Too many people here wouldn't know how to save themselves. You think of them first.
If you think I belong here, then why are you appealing to my reason?
I wasn't. I was appealing to your emotions.
Well, I'll get out quickly enough. It's just that bribing you would have been cheaper. Now it'll cost me a couple million, at least.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Is Miss Savage downstairs?
She just went out to the garden.
What is her state of mind this morning?
The usual pattern. She's already offered me a bribe.
How much did she offer you?
The highest yet. 50,000. Work here.
Did she sound confident?
Definitely manic. She talked as if she still controlled her affairs.
Apparently, she does. Read this. I've just been speaking with her children. They're practically out of their minds themselves. The senator is going to leave Washington at once, pick up his sister in New York and the judge in Boston, and be here by tonight.
Why, this is the most amazing thing I've ever read. When did they discover it?
I gather this morning. They asked me to confine her to her room.
I don't understand it. How could she get away with so much money?
Apparently, her husband left her the estate. She's been secretly selling out control ever since.
$10 million. That's a typographical error, isn't it?
No, they have it all right.
But what could she have done with it?
As her son says, God knows.
Could she have spent it?
I doubt it. Will you call her in here, please? I better tell her what to expect.
Oh, Mrs. Savage, will you come in here, please? Dr. Emmett wants to speak to you. You're not going to place in seclusion.
Of course not, but sometimes I wish there was a way of placing relations in seclusion. They're always so much more trouble than patients. Do you think she knows what happened to the money? She does, she's the only one.
Is there any method to her madness?
Miss Willie, I find it harder every day to decide where reason ends and madness begins. For the moment, I must accept the presumptive evidence of her stepchildren.
Well, from what I've heard, her son's record in Congress would give any good psychiatrist a nasty turn.
It certainly would, and the sensationalism of her daughter's 6 divorces doesn't speak too well for her emotional stability either.
Did you want me, Doctor?
Yes, good morning. Would you help out on the switchboard, Miss Willie? Miriam has been deluged with calls from the newspaper.
Yes, doctor.
Please sit down, Miss Savage.
I think I know what you're going to tell me.
Do you?
I see you have the morning papers. I wondered how long it would take them to find out.
Then you're aware of what you've done, and the consequences?
It's much too early for consequences. May I see it?
I've just been speaking with your children. We can expect them by tonight.
Indeed we can. Well, I'm not going anyplace.
How could you have possibly spent $10 million without someone knowing about it?
Who says I spent it?
That paper says you did.
What do they know? I didn't spend it. I couldn't. I hid it.
Did it?
And it's $500,000 negotiable bonds that can't be traced.
Why?
I don't ask you what you do with your money, Doctor.
I'm sorry this has happened, Miss Savage. I'm afraid your hidden treasure is going to prove a great disadvantage to you.
That's because you're a doctor. And doctors never know the true value of money.
Would you like to know how long it would take me to earn that much money, Miss Savage?
Oh, excuse me. Mary May wanted music while she planted her seeds.
That's okay. Just a moment, Hannibal. You were a statistician. How long would it take the average doctor to earn $10 million?
Well, you'd have to start before Christ was born, work right through the burning of Rome, up to the burning of St. John's of Savonarola. With time out, of course, for the Norman Conquest, the Crusades, the 100 Years' War, the 30 Years' War, and the 7 Years' War. So you'd have to work double time during the discovery of America, up to penicillin and bubblegum. But that's without deducting federal tax, state tax, city tax, school tax, luxury tax, and amusement tax. You'd add 100 years for that.
Thank you, Hannibal. It's a great deal to be responsible for, Miss Savage.
Now, what's the doctor up to?
A bit of emotional blackmail, I suspect. And would you guess by looking at me that I'm worth $10 million on the hook?
Never. The human body is only worth 20 cents of calcium, 5 cents of iodine, and 20 cents of phosphorus. And well, even at high prices, nobody's worth over $1.50.
So you value me at $1.50?
Never. You said worth. Your value is inestimable.
I like you, Hannibal. I like you very much. You make me feel important. You make me feel like dancing.
Splendid. What shall I play?
Anything.
I'm very good at the flight of the bumblebee.
Could anything be more appropriate? The bees come home to find the honey gone. Someone's going to be stuck. Play, Hannibal.
I didn't know anyone was in here.
I didn't know you could play the piano.
I only play when I'm alone.
You mustn't be so shy. No one's going to compare you with a professional.
But I am a professional.
Oh,
I made my debut in town hall a week before the war. Jeff married, you see?
why? It says you were brilliant. Forgive me, Jeff. I should have known.
I was going to appear with a Philharmonic. I didn't. Perhaps the concert to prove I might have.
Oh, but you never played, Jeff. Oh, please go on. I'd like to hear you.
No, I don't like to be stared at.
I'll look the other way, Mr. Jeff.
I'd rather not. I'm not ready to face people yet. Please don't insist.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Can you keep a secret?
About 10 minutes.
Dr. Emmett really isn't a doctor at all.
What is she?
A patient, just like Mrs. Matt.
Do you think so?
For 5 years now, she's promised me a new face.
No, she's a doctor, Jeff. It says so on her office door. She wouldn't lie.
Do you believe a man is what he claims to be?
I'm a trusting soul. I like to believe the best in people.
Well, it's best to believe the worst. Believe the worst, and the worst is only half as bad at best. And the best is no worse than expected. So it's best to believe the worst.
You know, Jeffrey, that's just obscure enough to be profound. What does it mean?
It's simple. The man says he's wise. You say he's a fool. If he says he's a fool, you believe it.
Well, only a fool claims to be wise.
Exactly, which proves I'm right. Dr. Emmett is a fool. The war was over 5 years ago. Where's her miracle?
Some things take a long time to heal, Jeffrey.
I can't wait much longer. I'm getting old. I'll be 26 soon.
And that's ancient. Why don't you forget your appearances and play anyhow? Don't condemn your audience before you give them a chance to be kind.
Look at me and tell me an audience won't shut up beside of me. Look, do you see?
I see nothing to hide, Jeffrey.
Dr. Emmett told you what to say.
No, she didn't. But you should trust her a little more. Give her a little more time.
All right. I'll give her 5 years more.
Fair enough.
Do you know something?
Nothing. I'm awed only by the magnitude of what I don't know.
I wouldn't tell this to anyone else, but Hannibal really can't play the violin.
No!
Yeah.
Well, of course. I'm not deaf.
I'll tell you something else. I sometimes wish I were.
Well, you're a sweet boy to pretend.
Poor Hannibal can't play the violin, yet he does. I can't, but I don't. Don't you think that's funny?
Not very.
There's a rat in the hall! A rat as big as a mouse. Quick, climb on the chair.
Barry, what am I going to do with you?
You put me right off my coffee.
You know there's no rat in the hall.
But Mrs. Savage doesn't. She's bored here. And I intend to make life exciting for her.
Thank you, Barry. You'll be happy to know that I just aged 50 years. That puts me well over the 100-year mark.
Then we must have a birthday party. I'll make the candles.
You'll sit down and drink your coffee.
Oh dear. I ate too much again.
You shouldn't exercise right after a meal, Hannibal.
I know, but if I wait till I'm comfortable, then my conscience will needle me.
Are you sure that there have been no calls or messages for me today?
Positive.
Well, is it possible to send to the town and get tonight's newspaper?
Well, if you'll serve the coffee, I'll ask Dr. Emmett.
Gladly.
Here you are, Bingo.
The Hornets has been served you.
Don't stand on manners, Jeff. Miss Willie knows just how you like your coffee. I'll get my own.
Very well. Thank you.
You're annoyed.
You single me out for attention, and it's unfair and makes me uncomfortable.
Jeff, I'm so tired tonight. I forgot. Forgive me.
It's okay. I forget too.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the best dressed of them all? Fairy who?
Bring in your coffee, Fairy.
Please. Do you think that this dress does anything for me?
It's a sheer delight, Fairy. Sugar.
5. I made it myself. There wasn't time to finish it, so I just put it together with hands.
Hannibal?
No, thank you.
Would you like to know a way to make that exercise enjoyable, Hannibal?
An enjoyable way of losing weight has yet to be invented.
Well, I know an improvement. All you need is a deck of cards.
I went to a fortune teller when I was 14. Everything they told me turned out wrong. I never believed in cards after that.
Very, very, very.
Throw them up in the air
Why?
to lose weight. Now all you have to do is lean over and pick them up, one by one.
Oh, I like that. It's tiny.
I learned it in a beauty course.
Thank you. It's a great improvement.
Wouldn't it be easier to just pick them up sideways?
Much. Man was made all wrong. His stomach should be in back. When he bends, it gets in the way. And when he kneels, his knees buckle instead of folding neatly behind him. And why should his nose be in front? It only gets in the way when he kisses.
Oh, you're so right.
I guess God was in a hurry.
Well, Hannibal, what are we doing now?
We're losing weight.
Well, would you mind postponing it for a few moments? Would you all go upstairs to the study for a few minutes? I'd like to talk to Miss Savage. Florence, would you take the coffee with you?
Oh, I do hate having coffee upstairs. It's so middle class. Where is John Thomas?
I think you left them on the photograph.
Oh, yes. He adores the classics.
Upstairs, downstairs, till I think I'll scream. May I stay, Dr. Emmett? No, you may not.
Miss Willie tells me you seem anxious to see tonight's papers. Why?
Habit.
Here they are. It will undoubtedly please you to know you caused a considerable amount of trouble again.
Have I? Oh, Titus on the front page. Senator trapped in White House hothouse.
I've just been speaking with him. He's exceedingly angry.
Imagine pulling up all those petunias. What will everyone think? Anything about Samuel?
Oh, yes. Here's the Boston Post.
Oh dear. Poor Samuel. All those bricks right on top of him. Chimney collapses on Boston jurist. Well, for some people it takes a ton of bricks, you know.
How could they have possibly believed you?
They should be committed, shouldn't they? Nothing about Lily, though.
Your batting average for mission is 100%, Miss Savage.
Oh, what a horrible picture of Lilybell. This would frighten even Barry.
It says here she resisted arrest.
So I see. Female vandal invades museum. Berserk heiress fights police. Now they really are fools, aren't they, Doctor?
What do you hope to gain, Miss Savage?
Better terms.
For your freedom?
For my husband's memorial fund.
Your children believe that money can be put to better use.
Of course. Their own. Lilybell settled over $1 million on her 6 husbands. Samuel and Titus spent just as much to secure jobs to which they had no right. Does that sound like better use?
They believe your memorial fund to be most unorthodox.
That's absurd. There are plenty of charities for foolish people in desperate need, but not for people with a desperate need to be foolish.
What brought you to that conclusion?
I am by it. No matter what we have, we never forget the foolish things we never got. I believe that if Hannibal would have been given a violin and he wanted one, he wouldn't need one now.
That is quite possible.
I want my husband to be remembered with warmth and gratitude for the few foolish dreams that came true.
Well, I would like to discuss this with you further, but at the moment you have visitors. You may come in now, Senator. outside if you need me.
My headache's gone.
How dare you make a fool out of me? How dare you?
You tried to kill me. Knew that old chimney would fall if I started pulling bricks out, didn't you?
Well, we're not a very bright family, are we?
Oh, you must be proud indeed to see the name of Savage held up to ridicule again.
Did you dig, Titus?
8 FBI men jumped me, shoved my face in the dirt, thought I was planting a bomb.
Why didn't you tell the newspapers the truth? I did. Sleepwalking? Really?
You try to think of an excuse with 8 men on your chest.
She loved the chance.
It was learned today that the senator's mother, Miss Ethel P. Savage, the actress, was recently commended for irresponsible actions. Democratic leaders were quick to point out that this might explain the strange case of behaviors in Congress by the senator. Do you realize what this does to me politically?
Makes you a more canard. Dead duck. Fresh. Remember?
I'll never survive it. Never!
They treated me like a criminal. I was fingerprinted.
I meant to ask you, Lily Bell, what is in a stuffed porpoise?
Do you know what the papers call us now? The mad savages.
How do you like it?
What happened to the bond?
What happened to your dignity?
Where is my money?
Where is your self-respect?
May I ask what you intend to do now?
Are you prepared to listen to my terms, or would you like to dig in Grant's tomb?
We are prepared to compromise.
If by that you mean see things my way, then compromise is the right word.
I will consider effecting your release in the custody of someone for a period of time. It would look better for us.
And I'd be willing to give her back complete freedom if she kept acting and lead a dignified life.
Freedom, as Titus can tell you, is the right to make the wrong choice.
What would we get?
That's what I like about you, Titus. No nonsense. You will each receive a reasonable yearly allowance.
How reasonable.
I shall be generous, but the bulk of my estate must be given away by my fund.
It's completely mad.
We could have the decision revoked, only for you to play another trick on us. Where would we be then?
Where are you now?
Get it over with, Titus.
Letter of retraction, Samuel.
Tired of having my decisions reversed.
When I'm released, I'll follow through with my promise. But I warn you, do not have me follow.
Samuel, wait a minute.
What is it?
I think I found the answer to our problem. On the cover of this medical journal.
What are you talking about?
A way to avoid our compromise. But I have to speak to Dr. Emmett first.
Are you going to sign that petition, Lily Bell?
Titus, don't sign anything until I get back.
Olivia, wait! What could she have read?
God knows.
Something to trick you. If you listen to her again, you'll end up without a cent.
What'll I do?
Finish it! Olivia's gotten us into trouble enough.
And be quick. Yours and Samuel's signatures will be enough.
Are we teasing commitment?
3.
2.
Doesn't look right.
I'll finish it. Give me your pen.
Give it back.
All I have to say was the commitment was ill-advised and request release. Will this satisfy you?
It will when you sign it.
Sign it, Sam.
What are you doing?
We're signing it. Sign it, Olivia.
That isn't necessary.
You'll regret this.
Olivia, you have no right to act without consulting us.
Oh, do be quiet. Read that.
Read what?
The article on sodium pentothal. It's... Perhaps I better let Dr. Emmett explain. Will you explain what sodium pentothal does, Doctor?
It's generally used in cases of shock. It releases stress, removes the patient's inhibitions, and makes them receptive to suggestion.
Also called the truth drug.
That is not quite accurate, however.
But under its influence, doesn't one usually tell the truth?
If they talk at all,
Now do you understand?
Did you want me, doctor?
Yes, just a moment.
Dr. Emmett, I order you to get some of this truth drug at once and administer it to my mother.
Haven't I any rights at all, doctor?
Dr. Emmett, may I say something? Surely you're not going to listen to these people. It's a flagrant misuse of science.
Dr. Emmett, I order you to get some of this truth drug to my mother at once.
Miss Savage, if I refuse, your guardians are quite within their legal rights to remove you from my authority. I am confident they will find the means of subjecting you to sodium pentothal elsewhere.
Then let someone else be responsible, doctor.
$10 million hidden from you does no one any good, least of all you. It remains an ever-present symptom of psychotic thinking. This is your chance to prove you are capable of making a rational decision. An intelligent mind recognizes defeat.
Well, let it be known that I was not forced to my knees by science. I'll tell you where the bonds are. They are...
Wait! We've come to the rescue.
It's not too late.
We'll stand by you, Mrs. Savage.
We just happened to be listening. Shame on you! And you! And you!
Dr. Emmett, who are these people?
These are my friends.
Hannibal, weren't you asked to stay upstairs?
I want to protest, doctor.
Who gives you the right to protest, sir? This doesn't concern you.
I love you all for wanting to help me, but Dr. Emmett hasn't much choice, as you must have heard.
What will you do, Mrs. Savage?
Give them the bonds.
I think you've made the right decision, Miss Savage.
Well, are you going to tell us?
I'm going to show you. We are going to show you.
Oh, wait, you heard it!
Here's your treasure.
My God, she's had that window the whole time.
What happened to the lights?
Somebody turn those lights on! Who is this?
For heaven's sake, Samuel, don't move. Someone might kill you.
Try it, strike a match.
I haven't got a match!
Who is this?
It's me. Let go of me.
Turn those lights on! Do you hear me? Now who turned those lights out?
One of our patients.
Oh, Miss Patty.
Where's the Lily Bell?
She disappeared.
My gracious. What are you doing down there?
Someone pushed me.
It wasn't me. I wasn't near enough.
They're gone. The bonds! They're gone!
Gone.
What did you do with them?
I put them on the table. You saw me do it yourself.
Then where are they?
Excuse me, Senator. I'd say Mrs. Patty took them. Seems obvious to me that she turned out the lights, took the bonds, and ran.
Miss Willie, find Miss Patty. Notify all guards to stop her before she destroys those bonds.
I can't bear it. I simply can't bear it. I'm going to pieces.
Would you like to try this?
Darling Mrs. Patty. Come on, girls. Let's go for a walk.
Why? This is simply a madhouse!
Yes, Miss Wilhelmina. Good. Good. Good.
Well,
All the wards have been locked off. The staff alerted that Miss Willie is searching the basement now.
but have they found that woman yet?
Not yet.
Then what in heaven's name was that good about?
We're taking every possible precaution, Senator.
That maniac has $10 million worth of negotiable bonds. If they're not found, they can't be replaced.
But what do you do with them, Doctor?
Oh, she'll probably keep them.
I don't know, but we're sure to recover them. It may take a little time.
Years, probably.
They were right in front of us, within our grasp. Why didn't you try to stop her?
How was I supposed to know the lights were going to go out?
It's quite possible Miss Patty didn't take them at all.
Of course she did. No one else could have taken them.
You could have.
Lily Bell was 10 feet away from the table, though.
But she's mighty quick when it comes to money. I suspect she took them and stuck them down her front. And knows there's room.
You didn't take them, did you, Lily Bell?
Can't you see she's trying to make us suspect each other?
Well, someone else could have taken them. He was closest to the table when the lights went out.
He was right beside it.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I didn't take them. I don't even like bonds.
The Queen of Spades. Someone's going to die.
Dr. Emmett, must we have these people in here with us?
Get them out of here. No. Don't let anyone out of their sight until he's searched.
Everybody, open his clothes!
Even my glasses?
Mary, just a moment. Miss Savage, please don't make this any more difficult than you already have.
And for heaven's sake, someone do something about this man just throwing cards around. My nerves are on edge.
Hannibal, don't.
Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this! I hear you have a lovely tiara. Do you sleep in it?
Oh, sit down, you unattractive creature. I've had quite enough.
I don't like you.
Mary, please sit down and be quiet while we wait.
Fairy.
Excuse me, I'm upset.
Well, Miss Patty, you have the entire staff searching for you.
Stop her! Don't let her get away.
I think you better join us, Miss Patty. We'd like to talk to you.
Now we'll find out where those bonds are hidden. Madam, hand over those bonds.
You'd better let me question her, Senator. She won't talk to you.
Oh, yes, she will.
Oh no, she won't.
Well, madam, what do you have to say for yourself?
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate revolving doors, cuspidors, fights, bugs, fleas, bumblebees, prickly heat, bats, gnats, mills, pots, pans, butts, bladders, worms, germs, pachyderms, and politicians.
What does she mean?
Weren't you listening?
Fairy.
Madam, did you hear what I just asked you?
There's no need to shout, Senator. She hears you well enough, but she's not going to answer to you. She hasn't answered a question in 20 years.
Don't play any tricks on me, madam.
Be careful, Titus. She carries a knife.
Miss Savage, please. Miss Patty does not carry a knife. She's hostile but quite harmless. Now, would you be kind enough to yield the floor to me, Senator?
Very well, but I want to hear her speak.
So do we all.
Miss Patty, now I have some very important questions to ask you, and I want you to nod yes or no. Did you take some bonds from the table a few minutes ago?
She did, and she didn't.
This is exciting. I wish someone would open up a door and a dead body would fall out.
Miss Patty, do you remember turning the lights out a few moments ago? Yes, you do. And do you remember a little bundle of papers that was sitting on the table? Try to remember. Think.
Dr. Emmett, I found them!
Oh, no, you don't. Hand them over.
But Senator!
We'll take charge of these.
Oh, look, radio tubes.
Madam, I thought you said you found the bonds.
I said nothing of the sort.
This restores my faith in witchcraft.
Where did you find them, Miss Lily?
In the basement, in the hot air duct in the Fairy's room.
I told you my room got cold and you didn't believe me.
I hold you personally responsible for this fiasco, Doctor.
Just what do you suggest I do, Senator?
Search her. She might have the bond in an armed person.
I'm afraid this is going to present a problem.
Well, search everyone else while we concentrate on getting her to speak.
Very well. Miss Lily, will you take Miss Savage to her room and search her, please?
No, take me. I'm youngest and would have dressed quickest. Unless you want to just run.
You first, Fairy. I don't want to miss anything.
Thank you.
Would you like to come to me, Fairy?
You know, I was once asked to play Lady Godiva in the Elks pageant. My mother wouldn't allow it. She was afraid of so many elks.
Miss Patty, wouldn't you like to save us a whole lot of trouble?
Dr. Emmett, having some sort of threat you resort to around here?
I don't threaten my patients.
The truth drug.
Of course, we could use the truth drug on her. That should make her speak.
I'm afraid it's out of the question. I'd have to have her guardian's consent.
Very well. Who is her guardian?
Her husband?
We'll get him on the phone. Who is he?
He's in Japan.
Well, in his absence, haven't you the authority to act?
We've no proof that she took them yet.
I still think Lilybell's your girl.
Will you stop saying that?
Dr. Emmett,
Yes, Jeff?
since Miss Savage can't have the bonds anyhow, I think I can help you.
Yes?
Miss Patty can take them.
How do you know?
Because I took them.
He's the thief. I knew we were being tricked. Hand them over.
I can't.
Did you take them, Jeffrey?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you put them?
I searched Fairy, Doctor. She doesn't have them.
Speak up.
I threw them out the window.
Go inside, Crooked Titus. We'll watch from the window. Stop! Parcheesi, the royal game of India.
But Jeff, you couldn't have thrown them out the window. The window's closed.
Stuck.
What do you mean by misleading us?
Let go of them, you stupid off!
He said he took the bonds.
Well, he didn't. I happen to know he didn't.
And how do you happen to know that?
That's none of your business.
How do you know, Miss Lily?
Because I had my arms around Jeff's life for now. I wanted to keep him from getting hurt during the confusion.
Thank you, Miss Lily.
No, she didn't. That's not true. I took them, no one else.
Miss Lily, Dr. Emmett, something awful is happening. There's a flame upstairs. This high!
Fairy, you mustn't. We've company.
Well, it's true. The flames are this high, at least.
Fairy, please sit down and be quiet.
But there's a fire upstairs. There's a fire, please believe me.
Where?
In the bathtub?
Fairy, sit down.
Oh, my cans are full of pins.
If you did take them, Jeff, where did you put them?
I told you, he couldn't have taken them.
Of course you couldn't. If anyone should know that, I should.
Now I suppose you took them?
I confess everything.
There's a fire upstairs.
There's a conspiracy down here.
Where are they, Florence?
I won't tell you.
These people are trying to deceive us.
I have committed this act with full knowledge of the stigma involved.
Something is burning upstairs.
There, search her.
Greedy little man.
Miss Lily, take Florence up to her room and search her, please.
I'll never tell Mrs. Savage, even if they put me in solitary confinement and cut off all my hair.
It's a waste of time to search dear Florence.
Now I suppose you took them?
No, but I know who did.
I know a fire when I see one.
Who did, Hannibal?
It wasn't Mrs. Patty.
Who was it?
It wasn't Florence either.
I'm not asking who it wasn't. I'm asking who wasn't.
Is that good grammar?
If you ask a Mohammedan what God is, he'll simply name you all the things that he is. It's easy. He'll simply name you all the things that he isn't. It's easier than saying what he is.
And one thing he he isn't on your side.
Hannibal, if you know who took the bonds, will you tell us?
I don't know who took them, but I know it was a woman. And I know it wasn't Mrs. Patty.
Oh, fiddle, let the house burn.
How do you know?
The woman pushed me out of the way to get them.
How do you know it was a woman?
Really, Titus.
How do you know it wasn't Miss Patty?
Mrs. Patty doesn't wear perfume.
Lilybell bathes in it.
I was nowhere near the table.
Did you identify the scent?
I think so.
Well, I use gardenia. What do you use, Fairy?
No name, I make my own.
Animal? Smell Lilybell.
Oh, Titus, I won't tolerate this. They're making fools of us for their own amusement.
Smell anything, Hannibal?
Yes,
What?
smoke.
High time.
I must be losing my mind. I smell smoke too.
Dr. Emmett, I found a fire in Miss Patty's bathtub.
I don't think I'll speak to anyone.
In the bathtub? I'm afraid it's the bonds. Or what's left of them.
Oh no! Oh no!
Let me see. Why, there's no telling what these are.
Yes, Patty, did you take those bonds to your room and set fire to them a few moments ago? Senator, here's a print of something that didn't burn. Can you tell what it is?
It's the burnt end of a $500,000 bond.
Are you sure? Miss Savage, could you identify this?
Well, the treasure hunt is over. What's left of $10 million?
I should have told a lie. Then someone would have believed me.
Yes, Fairy, I should have listened to you. I'm sorry. There must be some way of having them replaced, Senator.
Well, there isn't.
They can't be gone. They just can't.
You, miserable, useless creature. Do you know what you've cost us?
Oh, let her alone! I've listened to about enough bullying of my patients I'll stand for. Now, would you be so kind as to leave at once?
What about the burnt piece? Isn't that worth anything?
Nothing. I hold you completely responsible.
I can't be poor. I don't know how.
It's all right, Lilybell. We'll survive. We always have. I'm still senator.
Lilybell, I never intended for this to happen. Believe me.
Take me home, Titus, please.
Titus,
Yes, Mother?
what happens to me?
You have nothing to worry about. We would never allow you to be sent to a public institution.
We are savages.
Goodbye. We say goodbye to people we don't want to see again.
Don't cry, Miss Patty. I'm sure you hate tears too.
Well, maybe she thinks her tongue is cracked. Were you hoping you could change them, Miss Savage?
No one changes people. People make changes one learns to accept. I'd hoped to make them look like fools so that they would look with understanding of fools of good heart.
And who are the fools of good heart?
I'd say those who gamble on people and invest in kindness. Those who doubt that position means privilege or that manners mean morals. And of course, the rebels, with no fear of failure.
That makes very good sense.
And justifies my being here.
Would you like to leave?
They'd never let me go.
They've no say in it. No patient's commitment is final until I have made my decision, and I see no reason for your being here.
Does that mean I'm free?
Well, I could let you go on my own authority at once, but let me check with the medical examiner. I think I'll go packing things, just in case. We can always unpack them.
You hate us!
Mary, why do you say that?
You want to leave us.
Mary, I must.
Is someone waiting for you?
No.
Does someone need you?
No.
Then you can't leave. Oh, I haven't even had time to get you a going away present yet. Maybe I can still find something. I'll go look if you won't be fussy. Hold on.
I'd like to see what I could find for you too, Mrs. Savage. Will you wait?
Oh, how fun! Come on, everybody, let's see what we can find.
I forgot. I have something too.
I'll try to find something useless. I do abhor practical gifts.
Don't believe before we get back. You won't get anything.
I don't have anything in my room that you'd want, but I have something on me that I prize. My class ring, and it says, "Let there be light." Something Mrs. Patty would hate.
No, Hannibal. I wouldn't take that ring off your finger.
But I insist. It has no value as far as gold goes, but as far as blood goes, it's a statistical treasure. My heart has pumped blood through this ring every 2 minutes for the past 10 years, which adds up to roughly about 100,000 gallons of blood.
It's too much, Hannibal.
Not at all. But I don't seem to be able to get it off.
Keep it, Hannibal. I deeply appreciate the offer, the sentiment, and the statistics.
My finger has grown too fat on each side of the ring.
You've had it for so long, it's become a part of you.
Oh, I'm all out of breath. Feel my heart.
Oh, why, very dear.
But I found something. I hope you weren't expecting much, because then you won't be disappointed.
I won't be disappointed.
I couldn't find anything to wrap it in except for Kleenex. You can feel my heart too, Hannibal.
Thank you. About 104 beats to the minute. What is it?
I wrapped it a lot. A handkerchief.
Oh no, it's a napkin. So many places serve paper napkins, but they always blot or smear.
Thank you, Mary. I'll take it with me whenever I'm invited out.
And look, it even says the cloisters on it. Wasn't that lucky?
Oh look, Fairy found something first. What did she give you?
A hand-picked napkin.
Then it fits in perfectly with my gift. It's practical after all. I hope you don't mind.
Florence, you shouldn't have.
What is it?
A salt shaker.
And full of salt, too.
It's engraved. It says the cloisters on it.
You've gone to too much trouble.
No, it was nothing.
Is it sterling?
Fairy dear, I wouldn't dream of giving Mrs. Savage anything that wasn't sterling.
Oh, but it's dented.
Really, Fairy, dents give an antique character.
Indeed they do.
Well, I'm not going to say goodbye. I can't stand goodbyes. I don't recognize them.
Oh, you didn't expect us to say goodbye, did you?
I didn't even expect a salt shaker.
Well,
How do you do, Mrs. Savage? We've so looked forward to meeting you.
we're glad you're here at long last. Please make yourself at home.
Oh, I almost forgot. John Thomas asked me to give you something from him. He was afraid you'd catch his measles if he delivered it himself. Come, Fairy, let's pretend it's garden hour.
Excuse us, we have to go give leave. Take an umbrella, it's raining.
Well, Jeffrey, what did you bring?
Just a book, but I hope you enjoy it.
What is it?
Oh, the lifespan of the ape. Do you know I've never read it?
I was lucky, wasn't I?
I'll begin reading it tonight.
Mrs. Patty, we thought that you'd forgotten us.
What did you get?
Oh, how did you know this was just what I needed?
May I see it?
A genuine mother of pearl button. I'll sew it on at once.
I think it's intended to make an eye for the bear.
Why, bless your angry heart. My poor hated him having only one eye.
I hate everything in the world. I hate everything in the world, but I hate everything in the world but you, and I love you, and I wish you wouldn't leave us.
Why? She said she loved me.
Well,
Aren't you amazed?
why? We knew it all along.
Yes, but she spoke.
She had to say it.
Well, Jeffrey, it's a lovely night. Everybody's polite. Let's go see what the girls are up to. Watch out. Don't break your neck.
You have a good seat.
Well, I think I have everything. Here is your $85 hat.
My beautiful and foolish hat.
You know, I think you've been wearing it backwards.
No, I have. It's nice to be straightened out.
Where did everyone go?
They gave me going away presents and refused to say goodbye.
I bet I can guess what they gave you.
No, you can't. Miss Patty gave me an eye with which to see myself. And Florence, a grain of salt to take what I see.
That's good. And Mary?
A memory of loveliness.
I'm afraid to most people she wouldn't seem such a lovely girl.
She wears her plainness with great beauty.
And Jeff?
The Book of Job.
Nothing from Hannibal.
I'd say he gave me an appreciation of music I never had before.
Well, I agree for you too.
You behave yourself.
It isn't much.
It better not be. My bonds.
Except for the corner one that I had burned with newspapers to make it look convincing.
Where did you find them?
I didn't. I took them when the lights went out.
Why?
I'm not sure.
Don't tell me you're a kleptomaniac.
It was too quick to think. What bothers me is that after I took them, I toyed with the idea of keeping them.
It's a normal response. What stopped you?
What Jeff might think.
That sort of thinking isn't good for you, my dear. You should get away from here.
But you knew Jeff was my husband, didn't you?
I certainly did not.
Well, he is. And I want to be here when he recovers. And do you know why I want to keep any of that money? Pure selfishness. I want to do everything for him myself. Surely you understand that.
The only thing I don't understand is how I could have ever felt so sorry for myself. Isn't there something like no fool, like a you-know-what?
Something. But I don't think that applies to you.
Does anybody else know about these?
I told Dr. Emmett.
Well, whether you like it or not, you'll both be hearing from my memorial fund.
I've spoken with the medical examiner.
Yes.
The station wagon is outside and ready to go. Miss Lily, will you take Miss Savage's bags to the car, please?
Yes, Doctor.
I must be out of my mind, really. I don't want to leave.
You mean you'd rather leave tomorrow?
I don't think I want to leave at all.
But why would you want to stay?
Suddenly, I'm weary. I would like to rest. I would like to be relieved of decision. I would like to be protected against uncertainty and accident. I would like to close my eyes at night, knowing that there are walls to guard my sleep.
But the peace you find here is the moon reflected on a dark lake. Strike the surface and you destroy it. Is that the kind of peace you want?
I want what everyone wants. I want nothing. These people have found contentment.
How do you know?
I have eyes to see.
So has Jeffrey, but he sees only what he wants to see. An excuse to not have to face the future. Does Florence see that her child was taken from her? Does Barry see what the mirrors should tell her? No. They found refuge in an eggshell world where you don't belong. For you see yourself clearly, I'm sure.
Where do I belong?
In the world you can best serve. The impulse to live your life with courage is right. Go ahead with your memorial fund. And don't let the illusion of contentment betray you. The door is open for you. Make peace with your loneliness.
Oh, good. You're still here. Found one I can give you.
Hannibal, not your violin.
Oh, no. You couldn't play it. It's a song that you can take anywhere with you. Here is your song.
I came up here to do, I'd just like to say that all these fine young artists up here on the stage, and those who were on the stage last night as well, have really put the work in to present for you a fairly perfect show. And, well, the only real mistake in the show happened last night, made by me. Near exhaustion, so I'd like to take the opportunity tonight to rectify that mistake. So only Tegan here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the hard part. This is where, at the end of our run, we have to bid a very fond farewell to some magnificent young people who have tonight walked the boards of the MHS Spring Theater play or worked in other key capacities for the last time. So, gosh, I have a lot of flowers there. First, well, he's the what do you need guy, and well, this spring play, what we needed was a guy to jump in halfway through the run and become our Ursine technology expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John K. Most of the people you see up here are not quiet people, but quiet people can be very essential to what we do here as well. So please come on down, Jake Dempsey. For a couple of years, our anchor up in the booth, this show, our anchor in the front of house, Megan. Sometimes we don't get to do everything we want, but what does a good egg do when that happens? They do whatever they can do to help out. And ladies and gentlemen, Alex Campbell Gray, our well, sometimes people start out quiet and then they find that they can go on some pretty crowd-holding tears once they get up here. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us for the first time on the stage, Brooke Bowe. Another person who thought about doing it for years, waited till now to do it, and we're so happy he did. Brought so much positive energy to this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ryan Stowe. Ladies and gentlemen, only her second year in the program, I think we can all agree she's a natural. Morgan Savella. In absentia, our captain of the Unique, who's sick tonight to make it to the show, Mr. Roy Reeder.
For you, Roy!
Ladies and gentlemen, our pillar of strength on stage and off, Sam Patel. Ladies and gentlemen, really one of my favorite people, someone who, despite her astounding progress on stage in the last several years, and still always a part of me is going to want to think of as everybody's super sweet and helpful kid sister. Tegan.